buy a Kindle version. You can buy a hardcore book, whichever way you like, but probably the best would be for you to buy a Kindle version. So how the world runs. World is run by cause and effect. If you study, you pass. If you don't study, you don't pass. If you exercise, you are healthy. If you don't exercise, you are not healthy. If you eat too much of sweets, you'll become fat. You eat too less, you become thin. So life is all about cause and effect. That's how world runs. Now the entire world is run beautifully by the nature. The mother nature runs the world very effectively. Mother nature does not run world in any manner less than the best. Every year, winter arrives at the right time. Every year, the rains arrive at the right time. Every year, rains go away after filling all the ponds and rivers and everything. So you get a lot of food, you get a lot of good weather. Then winter comes. So everything runs beautifully. Next slide. So how do we, second slide. So now, but what happened is entire beautiful world, I know, the entire world, which is so beautifully orchestrated, which is so beautifully managed, is not enjoyed by human beings because of their desire, attachment. We look at all these points in detail one by one. And the root cause of not enjoying the world is fall of the human intellect. They live by a herd instinct. They all work together. There is a sorrow and misery. Now, what is human intellect? Next slide. If you divide human beings, there are three parts to the human body. He has a body, he has a mind, and he has an intellect. Body has got two parts again. Organ of perception. Organ of perceptions are your eyes, nose, ear, tongue, and your touch. These are organ of perception. The entire world which you perceive enters through these five organs. There's nothing else through which it can enter. It only enters through eyes. You see things, you hear things, you smell things, you taste things, and you touch it. So these are the perception. Then organs of action. Actions are your hand, legs, speech, your genitals, and your excretory organs are organs of action, which are interacting with the world actively. With the hand you whir, with legs you run, with speech you talk, with genitals you interact, with excretion you expel things, whatever inside you. That's how the body interacts with the world. But body is very gross. Then inside the body, there are two things. The mind. Everybody is born with a mind. What is the mind? Mind is the seat of emotion. Mind is not visible, like body is visible. Organ of perception, organ of actions are visible. Mind is not visible, but that invisible mind is emotional mind, which perceives love, hatred, all the emotions, jealousy, the good feeling, the bad feeling, all this with the mind. Mind is seat of emotions in our body, but it is not seen. And next to mind is intellect. Intellect is the controller of mind, but you are not born with the intellect. Child is born with the mind. Child is even 2 months old child has a mind. He will like the milk or he will not like the milk. If he sees his mother, he is happy. If he doesn't see a mother, he is not happy. Well, intellect is born in you when you are 10, 11-year-old, which is a controller, which controls your mind, which guides you correctly, which guides the mind correctly. Next slide. Now, mind is feeling emotions, likes and dislikes. You become a feeler if you operate through mind. Love, hatred, passion, affection, anger, jealousy. It's your emotional personality. Next slide. Whereas intellect is an adult in you. It thinks, comprehends, reasons. I think we have lost Harun.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so you heard about mind, isn't it?
Yes.
So intellect is the adult in us, which comes to us around the age of 11. It thinks, comprehends, reasons, judges, decides, guides and directs the mind and emotions, all body perception and actions. And it's of two types, gross and subtle. Gross intellect is about and everything of the world is gross intellect, whereas subtle intellect is beyond the logic. When you something like you accept your parents, there's no logic to it. When you were a child, you were told they are your parents, you accepted it. The trust that which is an illogical, but you accept it is intellect's work. Next slide. That's a gross intellect, and the subtle intellect is the one which goes beyond terrestrial world. Right? It differentiates between the temporary and permanent. And here you present yourself as a thinker, like you said that I offer a namaz in the morning. Right? The namaz in the morning, there's no logic to it. You have been told it's a good thing, and you believe that is a good thing. So and how do you get benefit out of it? When you offer namaz, you feel comfortable, you feel happy, you feel relaxed. So that connect which you have with the God in the morning makes you feel better. That's subtle intellect. So intellect is of two types. One, the gross, which controls your mind for the worldly things, and the subtle intellect, which controls your mind or guides it for things which are not as logical, but which are at a higher realm of truth. Okay, clear? Next slide. So you have a spirit in you which drives your body, mind, and intellect. Body has a perceiver, actor, mind is a feeler, intellect is a thinker and contemplator, makes you a human being. We're all studying about human beings. What are human beings? Where have they come from? And where they are going? And how do they live in this world? Next slide. So, if you look at the history of human development, there have been four stages of human development. First is age of perception. Age of perception means you perceive the world. You just perceive the world. Like plants perceive the world. They don't react to the world. They just perceive the world. Then age of observation. Age of observation happened when the people started observing cause and effect. Why things are happening. But they could not because they had no intellect. They were only doing the mind. Like it's very common that many people wear the same shirt when there's examination because they feel that this shirt will give them chances of passing out is better. Or they get up and if the black cat crosses the path, they think it's a bad omen. Or if the so all that observation were without intellect. So it was a mind saw one occasion something happened. Suppose you are coming out of your house and say a monkey crossed your path and your exam went bad that day. So you thought whenever monkey crosses my path, my examination will go bad. There's no logic to it. It's just a mind. Then age of scientific inquiry, where people started establishing scientific norms, cause and effect. This happened because this happened. That was a current era, an age of contemplation where you think about the truth which is beyond logic. So, as of now, next slide, please. As of now, we live in all four eras. Some people still live in the era of perception. They still don't interact with the world. Some people still live in the era of observation. They link up things without thinking. Right. Next slide. We already gone through all these eras. So let's go to the uh, uh, 14th slide.
Okay. Uh, this
Yeah.
one.
So all four ages coexist. The people, which era they are in, they perceive the world accordingly. But human efforts are required. We need to grow ourselves. How do we do that? Let's look at it. Next. Now, if you look at the world, there are three kinds of items available which grow from the same world: plant, animal, and humans. We all come out from the same earth. We get the same food, we get the same different items to eat, live in the same world, we take the same oxygen, and we go away, leaving everything, whatever we have consumed here, into the next world. So the plant have only body. They have no mind, no emotion, no intellect. Animals have body and mind, but no intellect. Humans are the only one who have got a body, mind, and both gross and subtle intellect. Next. So the plants are, they have no eyes. They just exist in the world. Next, animals. Animals live their life as per their program. They are software driven. Arun, whatever software they have, they will live. The cows will eat grass, the tiger will kill deer, an elephant will eat leaf. They cannot change their lives. They are all fixed in their life, in their character. Next. Now comes human beings. Human beings are individualistic in nature. Each human being, as per Vasana, is his character. Each individual human being lives with this character. Whatever character he has, Vasanas he has, he lives. Each one human being expresses own behavioral pattern. Each human being is free to choose course of their life, and each human being can make choices. So human beings are the only one who can make choices.
Explain Vasana.
I will.
Yeah,
the meeting is being recorded. Okay, can you and take it off the screen?
Okay.
It's showing on the screen.
Okay. Is it still there?
Yes, still there.
Did you say a notice about meeting being recorded?
This meeting is being recorded.
Achha.
And it shows
Achha,
okay.
Yeah, just give me 1 second.
If you can just remove it from the screen.
Yes. Hide self-view, hide self-meeting, change full screen. अभी गायब हो गया?
Not yet. Maybe
Not
when
yet.
you get the next slide, it will come. It'll disappear.
Achha,
Okay. So,
okay.
Harun, that human beings make choices. And if you notice all the animals, if you see all the zebras, all the elephants, there's no thin elephant, there's no fat elephant. There's no thin zebra, there's no fat zebra. They're all same. In animal kingdom, because they are software driven, they are all same. Whereas human beings have got, everyone has got their own software. That is known as vasanas. Each human being has their own character. That is known as vasana. That vasana, that character drives him to be as he is. Right? So that character makes him a different human. So every human being is different. We expect human beings to behave in the same manner, but they don't because they have got different character. Next slide. 19. So we were at this slide this week. The dilemma of choice. Now, what happens that because human beings are different, they have choices. So they always have to make a choice. Whether I should do this or that. Animals can't do that. They have to wake up in the morning. They have to eat. They have to run away from a predator. They have to sleep in a safe place, wake up again till they die. At the particular age of 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, they become active sexually. So they have another female animal with whom they interact and produce children live the same life. Children live the same life. But that's not true with the human beings. You wake up and you offer namaz. Not every Muslim offers namaz. May not be. The one who offers it, what choices he makes? He uses his intellect, subtle intellect, that it is good for me. It is good for my mind. So that decision, that dilemma of choice, that action, what we should do can be from mind or from intellect. The mind will say, continue sleeping. Why you want to wake up so early in the morning? Like today in the class, why wake up and attend the class? We can always we can see the recording later on. That must be in their mind. That's a mind. But intellect will say, no, you have to wake up. It's a good thing. You should listen. You should offer namaz. You should brush your teeth. You should exercise in the morning. That's intellect. That is the judge in you. That's a guide in you. Which is controlling your mind. Mind wants to sleep. Mind doesn't want to wake up in the morning. So there's nothing right or wrong. It's a choice. Now what happens? Mind likes, dislikes, mind has emotion, mind has impulses. Whereas intellect, reason, discretion, judgment. And combination of these two above is your actions in life. What actions you take, either mind-driven, intellect-driven, or driven by both. So in this book, which my Guru, Swami Parthasarathy, has written, he has given 3 examples. One example is diabetic. You know diabetic, na? Those who have got a high sugar. So those who have a high sugar, they are diabetic. Now, if you offer them a laddu or rasgulla or a firni or sweet dish, if he is a strongly mind-driven, he'll take it because he loves, every diabetic loves sweet. But if he has a strong intellect, he'll say, no, you are a diabetic, you shouldn't eat sweets. And because if he's listening to his intellect, then he will not take sweets. So what action happened? The mind action, he took the rasgulla or the gulab jamun. But if the intellect is strong, the reasoning is strong, then he will not take rasgulla. He will wait. He will wait for his blood sugar to come down. But combination of the above, the intellect says, yeah, I saw your last blood sugar, it was under control, so you can have a half rasgulla or half gulab jamun. That is a both combination of intellects appreciate that mind wants to eat, so it doesn't want to deny it. But if says your blood sugar is controlled, have half rasgulla. So that's where mind and intellect join hands in taking a decision, which is good for you. So the action is good. But if action is bad, if mind says eats full rasgulla in spite of high blood sugar, that's a bad decision. That's a mind decision. That's an emotional decision. That's an impulsive decision. That decision is because mind likes to eat rasgulla, though you are not fit to eat rasgulla. Second example, here the author has given is a pond. The pond is a poem. When you get the book, please read that book in the pond where the ducks and the chicken, a child chicken, a chick who was seeing the ducks swimming in the water. His mother had said, don't go to the water. And she kept on saying, no, they are swimming. It looks so good. Every duck swimming in the morning in the water. Why can't I swim? She said, no, you can't go. Don't go. But she gave a logic to herself that their beak is flat, my beak is pointed. That's the only difference. Why can't I go? And she defied her mother and went to the water and drowned. Couldn't swim because she doesn't have equipment to swim. So here, the intellect was kept hostage by the mind. Because intellect was not allowed to operate. Mother said, don't go to the water. That is intellect. That's an adult in you. But because mind was strong and mind wanted to swim, whatever may happen, so mind did that and you lost a life. Third is a preacher, example of a preacher. The village preacher who lived with the all the people there, but he never he was emotional with them, but he always risen above emotions. So their book says, to them his heart, his love, his griefs were given. The preacher gave to his fellow village people his heart, his love, but all his serious thoughts had rest in heaven. Means they were always, he was very logical. As some tall cliff that lifts its awful form, swells from the vale and midway leaves the storm, through round his breast, the rolling clouds are spread, eternal sunshine settles on its head. Means he was always logical, though he shared emotions with the villager. To have emotion is a virtue, but it would be grievous error to let them interfere with your intellectual judgment. That would tantamount to human weakness. It is good to be emotional. It's very nice to be emotional. But if you live emotional life and don't let intellect guide you, that is your weakness. So the history reveals this intellectual weakness of humans beings in letting their emotions overthrow discretion and judgment. History has shown again and again, that humans live by the mind, not by the intellect, not by the reasoning. Most of the trouble in the world is because we surrender to the mind. We don't let our intellect. Now, what are the examples? Next, how we have moved live our life without giving intellect a chance to operate.
Shall I change the slide?
Please, go to the 20th slide. Humans, we live by mind and likes and dislikes. If we just let our intellect join mind, we would live a very happy life. Now, we said that a mind is powerful, he consumes sweet. Intellect is powerful, he rejects sweet. But if mind and intellect, they join hands, so if his blood sugar is controlled, he will have a controlled portion, he will have half rasgulla. But if the blood sugar is very normal, he'll consume full rasgulla. So it depends on the mind. Next. We have gone through this slide. The pawn, we said that intellect held hostage by strong mind. Next slide. And the village preacher, to have emotion is a virtue. Emotions must not interfere with intellectual judgment. Intellect must govern mind. So the lesson of the story is that let intellect govern your mind. Let it guide you. It's a guide in you. It's a mullah in you. It's a pandit in you. It's a teacher in you. It's a parent in you who's guiding you. Listen to your intellect. Next. Now, what happens to most of us? We live our life like a herd. We follow others. We all go to the school, we all go to the college, we all study, we all marry, we all produce children, and we die. Have you ever thought at any point of time, why am I doing it? Have you ever questioned anything? Why am I doing it? We are told and we follow. If you learn to question everything in your life, then you will be able to live a more peaceful life and all decision will be yours. Today, in our life, 99.99% of my decisions are not mine. My parents say, get married, I get married. They say that go to school, I go to school. They say do a job, I do a job. They say come home at 6 o'clock, I come home at 6 o'clock. We never question. I'm not saying question to disobey. Question to understand what you are doing. We need to have intellectual strength to stand alone. See, if you see all the animals, sheep follow sheep, goat follow goat, because they have no strength to stand alone. Sheep can't live alone. Sheep can't live alone. A goat can't live alone. Zebra can't live alone. But eagle flies high alone. Tiger lives alone. Why? They have strength. So in us, the strength is intellect. Poor intellect, we become herd, and because we feel safe in a group, and we don't have to take any decision. Anybody says, no, everybody's doing it, so I'm also doing it. The marriage is such an example. We all marry. We don't know why. Just scroll it up. I can't see the below marriage. We go to college. We have faith. We are all Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, Christians. We make friends without thinking. Because we're studying in the same class, we are friends. What is common between us? Why I'm following whatever I'm following? I'm not saying don't follow. Please follow, but question it. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Next slide. So, marriage. Why we marry? What is the reason for marriage? Because most time, my father got married, my uncle got married, my sister got married, my brother got married, so I'm also getting married. There are 6 reasons why we marry. First, and we don't know why we are marrying, by the way. None of us know why we are marrying. When we married, we had no question. The first progeny for children, we produce children because we love children. Or possessiveness. We want to have a wife, I feel comfortable when there's a wife, so I can talk to her, she can talk to me, and companionship. We can spend time together, she can look after me. We marry for sex because how do I have sex? So I marry for sex. Protection. I marry because it's safe to be in the company of another person. So we always follow what we our security. We feel that I'm secured in the company. I have financial security. I have a emotional security. But do we know why we marry? We have my guru has classified it for you to understand what marriage means. Marriage gives you these 6 things. It doesn't give anything more. Which one you are seeking? Are you seeking for security? Are you seeking for possessiveness or children or companionship? If you know it and then get into marriage, good. So you have taken a very intellectual decision. But most time we marry because everybody is married. Next slide. Now, what are the advantages and disadvantages if you live with mind? Mind wreaks havoc. If you live with your mind, it'll create a devastation in your life, Arun. It's so dangerous, so dangerous. Uncontrolled mind finishes human being. Example, that if somebody loves sweet and he has no control over his mind, he'll keep on eating sweet, keep on eating sweet. He'll become a diabetic, he'll become obese, he'll become fat. I'm sure in your society there are a lot of people who are so fat. They just have no control over their eating habits. They just get uncontrolled. Why? They eat so much of rice, so much of mutton, so much of whatever they eat, sweets. They just can't control. Because mind behaves like child. You've seen a child, na? That if you don't give something to child gets upset. So humans get very upset if they don't get what they like. But child needs constant supervision. Child mother says, don't eat, you already eaten. If you eat more, you'll vomit. So child stops or mother takes it away from him. So our child has to be controlled by our intellect. So if you will allow mind to have a run, it will live a life of likes and dislikes. It only works on likes and dislikes. Mind as an equipment in your head, which is a seat of emotion. It works with likes and dislikes. Like a child, he wants a toy. If you don't give him a toy, he starts crying in public. He starts fighting with you in public. Adult says, no, you cannot have a child. Mind only lives with the likes and dislikes. If something is not good, it won't take. If something is good, it take it. But the problem in life is that what you start, which is not good, is good in the end. And what you start as a good is not good in the end. What you like in the beginning becomes bad in the end. Example again, we will stick there, same slide. Okay. The problem with likes and dislikes is that what you like if you like sleeping, not waking up in the morning, it is good in the beginning, but you will become fat, you'll become lazy. Good in the beginning, but bad in the end. But if you start exercising, it's very painful in the morning. Like what you said really pleased me, that you wake up and offer namaz. It's a good thing to do in the morning. It's a difficult thing to do in the morning, to wake up in the morning and offer namaz. A lot of people must be sleeping till 8 o'clock. They must be offering namaz after they wake up. But when you wake up in the morning, then your mind is calm. Your mind is quiet because you have put in an effort. So what is mind does, it likes and does it, which is good in the beginning, detrimental in the end. Nobody wants to exercise. It's so bad. Who wants to wake up and exercise? Who wants to go for a walk? Very difficult. Dislike to start with, but it's good in the end. You become fitter. So likes and dislikes, if you go by the mind, you'll only suffer in long run. Next. You can just scroll it down. Next. Yeah, slide 27. No, 27. Yeah. Harun, the life, if you live with the mind, you want to do things what is good for you. But you are interacting the world. You're not living alone. Suppose you like summer, not rainy season. There are a lot of people who complain about the rains. Oh, rains are so bad, and when the rains come, this happened, that happened. Unfortunately, your likes and dislikes are linked to the world, and world is constantly changing. If you like summer, and the summer will change in 3 months, rains will come, rains will go, winter will come. If you like winter, winter is only for 3 months, then 3 months will be happy, 9 months will be very unhappy. If you like to eat particular thing which is available at a particular time of the year, the world does not work according to you. World moves according to themselves as the world has to live. So if you live by likes and dislikes, you'll always be unhappy. Because sometime it will be as per your wish, most of the time it will not be as per your wish. So if we accept that world cannot cater to my needs all the time, I have to accept likes and dislikes are part of my life. I must live both with likes and dislikes with ease, with happily. Sometime I'll get biryani, sometime I will get rice and potato. I will not get biryani morning, evening, night, all the time. I may not be able to afford it all the time. So if I get biryani, I'm happy. If I don't get biryani, I'm equally happy. The moment you start living with the reasoning, with the intellect, your life will start improving. You will not always get what you want, but you have to accept that such is life. Let intellect guide the mind for mental peace. You have to allow intellect to help you in being peaceful. Now, another problem with the mind. So we are looking at third problem with the mind. First problem was mind is a herd mentality. Second was likes and dislikes. Third point, next slide, next slide, next slide. That mind worried about the worry and anxiety is a very integral part of the mind. It's worried about the past. Oh, so and so thing happened. I did not do well. Now what will happen? Whether I pass or fail. Or I did something last night and today morning I don't know what's going to happen. I did not do my homework yesterday. What will happen? Worried about the past and anxious about future. That my results are coming. What will happen? Will I pass or fail? I did not do my boss gave me some work in the office. I did not do. What will happen tomorrow? I'll go. He'll scream at me. He'll shout at me. He'll tell me how bad I am, and it'll be so embarrassing. So mind is constantly worried about the past and future. You know, Harun, you never get tired in the office because the work never tires you. The worries tire you. The worry of the work, anxiety about the work tires you. See, a child plays 24 hours. Give him, he'll go jump up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. He's jumping, he's not tired. You get tired watching him, but child is not tired. Why? Tiredness does not come from muscles. Tiredness comes from the mind. We are so worried about our life that we get tired. It saps human energy, causes mental agitation and sorrow. Work never tires, and worry and anxiety always tires you. Can you scroll it up? Satyan? So what do we do? Because we are tired, we need coffee to overcome tiredness. Then we need rest. Then we go on vacation. And some people drink, smoke to overcome. I know I'm very tired here. Give me a peg of whiskey. Or I need to go on vacation. I need Saturday, Sunday. We work 7 days. I work 7 days a week. I work every day 18 hours a day. I'm not tired. Because we are not agitated mentally. We have no worries, we have no anxiety. Nothing bothers us. We know that world will continue to be as world is. I have to adjust to the world. I have to live with the world. I cannot change the world. I have to change myself. Whatever we are talking is a step, an attempt in changing ourselves to keep ourselves at peace so that I can deal with the world better. I can deal with the people better. If my wife screams at me, I just stay at peace. Okay, she screams sometimes. My father shouts at me, I don't get angry. Okay, father has a right to shout, but I know what I've done. I'm okay with that. So we need to control, and to control our worry, anxiety, likes and dislikes, we have to allow intellect to be reasonable. Allow intellect to control our mind. Next slide. Now, if you look at the desires, every religion has described desire like as a desire is personified as a devil. Christianity, they call it Satan. Islam, Shaitan. Buddhism, Mara. Hinduism, Asura. They all have called desire as a Shaitan, as a Satan, as a devil. Buddhism says Mara and Hinduism says Asura. So desire means the moment you have a desire, you will have agitation, suffering and sorrow. See, life will never be same all the time. There'll be happiness, sorrow. It's a train of incidents in your life, in our lives. If you are born as a human being, we will have a problem. We will have a good time. We will have a bad time. Now, whenever we have a good time, we should not jump up and down. Oh, I'm so happy, I'm so happy. With a bad time, I should not become very sorrow that, oh, my life is bad. If I can be equal in my mind with both good and bad, does not mean that I don't react. I know what happened is not right. But at the same time, my mind is not disturbed. My mind is under control of intellect, under logic, and it knows that whatever has happened is something which I need to respond to. If somebody has died, I understand that he has died. There must be a sorrow. I'll go and meet them, offer my condolences. Does not mean that I'll go become depressed and I will not eat for 5 days or I will not talk to anybody. That is a reacting to mind. So we need to understand that our desires, whatever desires we have, is coming from the mind, the seat of emotions, which leads to love, hate, jealousy, the show of money. All these are mind's desire, not intellect. Next slide. Desire continued. How does desire come? Desire is our thoughts toward the objects. Now we are going a little bit in detail. I'll just touch it and we'll stop it here. And then you think it for a couple of days, what I have said. Whenever we have a thought towards an object, and when the thoughts become multiple times, it becomes a desire. Now, what is it like? See, if you see a biryani, which is you eat biryani and you like it. Then when you go home, you tell your mother, Mom, I went there, I ate biryani, it was very nice. So now you are mentally eating biryani. First you ate physically. Now when you talk to your mother or sister or friend that I went to Ataullah Khan, his biryani was so tasty. So you are now mentally eating third time. Then the night before sleeping, you said that biryani was very nice here. That means fourth time you ate biryani. That becomes your object of desire. Now you go again after 1 week, passing by Ataullah Khan, you saw biryani, again you went in. So that becomes a desire. Now, if you do it once in a month, twice in a month, thrice in a month, intellect will not object. But if you go every day, they say, what are you doing? You're wasting so much of money. Food is cooked at home. Why can't you eat food? It's so expensive. You can't eat biryani every day, man. That's intellect telling you. But the moment, if your mind is strong, eating biryani has become a greed. And one day when your mother tells you, okay, why you eat every day outside, you get angry. What, Mom? I just went there and I like it. Why should I not go and eat? Now you're angry. And one day, Ataullah Khan shut shop. You are scared. What happened now? Will I get such a good biryani anywhere in life? Any sphere of life, any sphere of your living, the principally, these are the how it works. Suppose you are attached to a woman. You like your neighbor's daughter who is very good looking. So you saw her once and you looked at her, you said, oh, she is good looking. And there is nothing. If you drink a glass of water, forget about it. That girl disappears from your life forever. But if you start thinking, when you go home, start thinking about neighbor's daughter, it becomes attraction. Then you start talking about her, thinking about her many times, it becomes love. Then you suddenly realize that your neighbor son also is talking to her. You see them talking. You get angry. What happened? See, these are all thoughts. They're nothing but thoughts. You say, how come I loved her? How come he's loving her? Now you are angry. And you are scared that what happened if she marries him? Then what happened to me? Harun, all started with thoughts. Just simple, plain thoughts. Look where you have reached. You have reached to the greed, you have reached to the anger, you have reached to the fear, isn't it? I think let's stop here. And these are the ways how thoughts develop. At the end of the day, they're just thoughts. So if you have ability to control it when they were in thought form, then you are probably have a less desire. But remember, this desire will lead you to a lot of difficult times if not well thought through, if not under control of intellect. Okay, I think let's stop it here. Let's take a pause. And if you have any question, Harun, we'll be very happy to answer. And then we'll continue with it in the next class.
Yes, I have a question. Is our intellect is inherited or it is influenced by the environment?
Very good question, Harun. You're a very smart boy. Like mind and intellect both, you can't, you are born in mind, you are born with. Every child has a mind. Intellect appears, the reasoning appears in your mind when you are 10-year-old. It's nothing inherited. You have to develop your intellect. Like you develop muscles, you develop intellect. You keep on practicing it. Like to develop muscle, you have to practice every day. Same thing to develop intellect, you have to practice it every day. The more you practice, the more intellect will develop. If you don't practice, people have lived their life with the mind, There's no reasoning. Why are you doing X thing? Has anybody ever told you that the reason is this? They'll give you emotional reason. They always tell you, no, my father used to do that, his father used to do that, you also do it. You ask, but why? What does it lead to? Give me the evidence. Explain to me that why it was done. The moment you start using intellect, why am I eating rice thrice a day? Why can't I eat chapati? Why can't I eat, like you read now, that carbohydrate is bad for you, the rice is bad for you, the potato is bad for you, the protein is good for you, dal and chicken, and the protein is good for you, egg is good for you. Now, how much egg is good for you? So all that logic which you have in eating also is in all thoughts, every sphere of life. Why should I marry? Why should I have one child or four child? What is my need? Right. I can't say that a child has come, so I will have four child. But why? Why can't I have six child? The logic. So once you start living a life of intellect, but intellect has to be developed by practicing. The chicken, if it listened to its intellect, wouldn't have drowned. But listen to the mind. Mind always wants to eat. Mind wants to eat biryani every day. Intellect tells you, no, I can't afford biryani. I can't afford this. Or I can't afford physically. If I eat more, I'll become fat. I don't want to become fat. So intellect you're not born with. You get later, but you have to develop it.
Thank you. My next question is, some people say that intellect is fixed and some say that it changes over the period of time. So my question is, what are the factors behind the development of our intellect?
The practice, like you develop a muscle by doing weights, you use intellect repeatedly. Ask question. Ask everything. Ask questions for everything. Why? Tell me why. And if it doesn't satisfy you, go deeper, go deeper, go deeper, till you understand it. Don't believe people. Listen to them. Argue. Develop your own logic. You have to live life logically. That's why you are a human being. They have to live like a cow or sheep. Everybody is grazing, I am also grazing. But if the God has given me a body, and mind to think. Why do I not think? The biggest reason why humanity is falling, they stop thinking. They believe blindly. Where are the thinkers in this world anymore? Who thinks? We just go by what everybody has said. My father has said that you do this, so I do it. I will still do it what he's saying. I'm not saying I don't disobey him, but ask him, why dad? Why father? And I have to tell myself, I have to live my life. I have to have my children. I have to tell them that what I'm saying. But we all live a life of a animal, herd instinct. Everybody done it, so I'm also doing it. The moment you start asking questions, truth will fall out of the closet. It is there. That truth is there for everyone to discover. Some people don't make attempt. Okay?
I've got one question for Harun before we wind up. Harun, can you share one personal example from your life where you used your subtle intellect and not feelings or what was told to you by friends and family? Would you like to share one example where you actually used your intellect, especially subtle intellect, for any decision, big or small? 2 minutes for you.
Uh, it is a very difficult question. Uh, Mostly when I take decisions in my life, I I take consult from my parents that I am going to do that thing. It is good or bad for me. What you think about me? They also give their suggestion, and they are also ask. You can suggest your. You can take suggestion from your friend as well. So when I take decision in my life, I take opinions from the other people in my life, which are very important in my life. I they provide me the pros and cons about the situation or the decision. So when I take decision, then I will consider the pros and cons that I heard at the moment. Then I take a decision in my life.
This is a
Good.
very good thing. This is a very good thing. As Alok said, that there's no harm in listening to people as long as you understand the logic behind it, as long as you ask the questions and understand the thing thoroughly. But I want to know one thing. Have you ever done your own thing, like falling in love with someone
It
or going for a
it
particular
depends.
job?
Yes, it depends on the situation. Sometime I do the thing which likes me, and sometime I used to listen to the other people. So it depends on the mood or on the situation.
Thank you, Harun. Thank you so much. Back to Alok.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good. The process of consultation is because of intellect. You did not do your mind job. You want to do something, but you want to consult around. That's a very strong use of intellect. You felt that I need to consult and find out what I'm doing is right or wrong. So that's very strong, commendable thing. Continue doing it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Arun. Thank you.